Rebecca with roll call.
Mr. Oglesby,
Here.
Mr. Reynolds, Ms. Jordan,
Here.
Mr. Kier,
Here.
Mr. Hardy,
Here.
Mr. LaTurner,
Here.
Ms. Jackson.
Here. Alright, no action taken. So, we tabled 819 Barnes, what would you all like to do?
Do you have help that can get right on this and get
Yes.
it done?
That's why I'm here.
I've already handed the money, he's already assessed the supplies needed.
And how soon do you think you can get really rolling?
Immediately. The only reason we haven't done it yet is because we're waiting on this meeting.
Do you have an estimated time that's gonna take to complete the
2
repairs
weeks.
that are required?
2 weeks?
If we gave you 2 weeks and you put money into it, and it's still not good to go, and we tore it down, you'd just be out that money.
I don't think you'll be
It's
carrying
gotta
on.
make code.
I haven't, I don't know why the code, building inspector guy, why he wouldn't be here, but maybe we could, I mean, I don't even know what the problems he said is with the house. I know what I've seen with my eyes.
Well, it matters what he sees.
So
I already know. I'd like to know what that is
they picked
before
up the
I
checklist.
commit to 2 weeks. I don't know what he,
The property owner picked up the checklist and was
I've got
given the
a
phone number
checklist,
to
but-
contact Gary Rose, which is our building inspector.
Did you get hold of Mr. Rose?
No.
There's really no need to, he's made his decision, and I'm waiting for the attorney. That's who I was waiting on.
are you all?
I'd like to see you have 30 days or till the next council meeting and see if
That would
you
be
actually
great,
get it done.
That would be great.
But we can't let this keep going 30 days and 30 days and 30 days and not see anything happen. I want you to be aware of that,
It's not gonna be like that, Bob. I can guarantee it.
okay?
We need the fence cleaned out, the line, because really the neighbor that lives right south of there is really having a hard time with this.
It is hard for the
They
neighbors.
put a lot of money into their property.
Well, can they keep their beer cans off of my property?
Well, I don't know they're that much of a drinker, so.
Yeah, there's trash tore all up and down that road, and it's not from that house, it's from the people who are actually living there at the moment.
Well,
Trash tore up all over
we'll
the
deal
place.
with that when we get to that problem, right? But right now, it's looked so bad for so long, it does look like a dump, right? So,
The
you know,
house itself,
the
like I
fence
said-
lines and all that's gotta be cut, you know, we got a 12-inch rule, right? Grass gotta be at a 12-inch height. You know, I cut my garden the other day, so I can get to the 12-inch rule, cause I let the weeds grow up there and all, okay?
In your mind, how much you think this is gonna cost for you to bring this up to code? Ballpark figure.
Well, there's some kind
I didn't see the list, so I don't know. I need to look at the list and then I could,
As far as
Have a
I know,
better
nobody
idea.
saw a list of anything that needs repaired on
He
the
got
house.
the
He picked it up.
Is that list
But it
available?
didn't have anything on it, honey.
We've looked at
It
it.
tells you what is a nuisance, they say it's a nuisance
It is
and
written
so
in
on and so
vague,
forth,
is
but
the
it
best
does
way to
not
put
point
it.
out
Right, that's why I gave you the building
anything specific.
inspector's number so you could talk to him, cause I don't know either, like, I'm not a building inspector, but that's why I gave you Gary's number so you could call him and he could verify what needs to be fixed.
Come on, we all know what's livable, right?
uh,
I mean, it's gotta have a floor, it's gotta have a roof, it's gotta have windows, it's gotta have siding.
right. It needs a couple windows, a spot on the roof repaired, some
And,
siding. It boils down to,
and guys, that siding ain't gonna match, right? You're gonna
Oh, I
have to
can match
reside
it.
the whole house, that's gonna be rough.
I can match
That
it.
siding's 100 years old.
you can't, I wouldn't go back with the masonite, I'd go back with the fiber siding, but I can match it pretty dang close.
And then where's the electricity in it? What year was that replaced? The electrical panels, the wiring? Is it still, 1921 or whenever the house was built, wiring in it?
About 1985, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
rewired,
it's,
rewired by
modern.
Harold Baird.
Okay, so, I mean, that's the questions you guys gotta ask yourself, right? We want a habitable house. We want somebody to live in it. Lowers our taxes, right?
yes,
Well,
sir.
is there not a list? I mean,
Yeah, that's
somebody
what
said
I've looked
something
at a
about
list, but it is written in vague.
It doesn't say
But-
anything
don't have
about
specific-
what
Guys,
needs
you gotta call,
specifically
right? If
done.
I don't understand, my doctor says I'm gonna have a heart attack tomorrow, I'm gonna ask him what I gotta do to keep from having it, right? I ain't gonna just accept that I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Just quit eating those eggs.
You know,
That's what
so
we're
we
saying.
gotta ask the questions.
That is
We
what
gave
we're
you the man's phone number. Gary is a very personable, very nice man.
Yeah.
He'll tell you what he thinks has gotta be done to make this
Right.
hit code, okay?
So,
Mr.
somebody
Johnson
mentioned
lives
30
out of
days,
state.
somebody mentioned next meeting, those are two different things.
I wanna err to the side that's gonna give him the time of, you know, I'd give him another 30 days, but we gotta see some real things happen.
You
So
will.
that-
You gotta
You
know.
got my word on it.
So,
If I might, I think it might be a good idea that, maybe, at the next city council meeting, the homeowner needs to have spoken with the inspector
Yep.
and have a good idea of really what needs to happen. And maybe you can come back with your contractor and provide to the city council sort of your action plan. And your contractor at that point will he'll be able to, you know, say, this is what needs to be fixed and this is what it's gonna cost, right? And that way, we're not talking about, you know, this pie in the sky stuff. You'll be able to.
It's gonna be
You'll be able to, you know, put numbers to actual things that need to happen to the house. And then the
We need milestone dates.
well, yeah,
This, the siding's gonna be on in this week. The fence is gonna be cleaned out, the grass cut this week. So we can go to our other citizens and say, this is what they're doing and they're promising they're gonna get done, right?
But
Yes, sir.
you gotta get with Gary and get a list and know what you're gonna do.
well, and I would suggest that, he needs to have a plan moving forward with concrete numbers and concrete deadlines. And as long as he's following the plan, that's, you know, that's good, but,
We've extended people out several times, and once it became obvious that they were serious and they were taking care of it like they said they was, there was a big 2-story house here in town, we worked with him for several months, and it's a showcase right now inside.
that's all we're asking, just to work with us, and we'll get it taken care
We
of.
don't wanna tear down any house, cause that's
He
tax
lives in
revenue,
Florida,
right? Lots
and
don't pay
I'll be
nothing.
the guy handling it. He can't be here all the time. His primary residence is out in Florida.
so Bob, you have a motion on the floor. You first said 30 days, but then we got a recommendation for maybe a plan after a discussion with the code
That's
enforcement
presentable to
officer
us
by next
by
meeting.
next meeting,
Yeah.
yes.
We need to see a plan and
So are you
that-
modifying that?
I would like to modify my motion, yes.
if you don't mind, do you mind if I modify your motion and then you can just say so moved?
That sounds good.
Alright, we'll do it this way.
You can do that all
So,
the time.
I would suggest that we have a motion to table this until the next city council meeting, to give the homeowner time to get with the building inspector and his contractor, and so that he can come to the next city council meeting with a concrete plan for remediating what needs to be remediating, or fix what needs to be fixed on this house to make it within code.
So motion.
I kinda think
So we have
that's
a- we have a
unfair to make
motion.
him come back again
We have a motion on the floor
in 2 weeks.
by Bob LaTurner.
The motion, yes, a motion.
So you so moved the motion.
And I second it.
We have a second by Warren Harding. All in favor?
I have already had to
Any
cancel
opposed?
one of my wife's medical appointments.
Well, I think the city council is really trying hard to work with you, on this, and, you know,
Could I be his spokesman and representative?
can. Are you his
when-
lawyer?
When he's not here. No, I'm not talking about
You can't.
being his lawyer.
you
Being-
can't, are you his, so you could if you were his agent pursuant to a power of attorney, so he could, if he wanted to grant you power of attorney over the house, he could do that, then you could speak, in his behalf. Other than that, no. And I understand that this is a hardship, but it's also been a hardship on the city to have this house sitting there for I don't know how long, unproductive and just being a nuisance. Quite honestly, the city council could vote to, you know, just to raise the house. But, you know, and they're probably more compassionate than me. I've just seen this a million times and it usually never works out. But what they're offering you is a chance to, as a absent landlord, to fix the problem. But if you're an absent landlord, you know, it doesn't give anybody a big sense of confidence moving forward that you're gonna be able to get this done if it's that big of a hardship for you to get here to take care of this kind of business, if that makes sense. So, you know, the city council has offered you that opportunity, and I would suggest that you take that opportunity and take it seriously, because I think there's several members of the city council that are just teetering on just wanting to raise the house and be done with it, okay? So if I were you, I would take it, come back at the next city council meeting, talk to the city inspector. Is it a city inspector or is it private? I don't know. Talk to this building inspector and come forward with a plan to the city council that is reasonable and that you're going to be able to follow through on. Otherwise, you know, I can't speak for the city council on a whole, but I can tell you that, the city council could in fact raise your home even after you spend money on it, and be well within the legal right to do so because of, I mean, we've gone through all of the proper procedure here. They're offering and extending grace to you whether you want to see it that way or not.
I see it that way.
All right, thank you. All right, Chris, did you want to, I mean, you're on the agenda, I know you spoke already, did that cover?
Yeah, I do have some pictures of the house. I don't know, he says he's seen the house. I know Bob lives up the street. I only live about 4 blocks from there, but I do have pictures. It's not like a fallen down in house. It's
Yeah.
a good structure. It just needs a little help.
And that might be something that you guys share with Mr. Rose when you contact him too. I mean, like Lauren said, he's a really nice, personable guy. So I don't know if you were familiar with him, but he is in it.
We don't have a problem working with him.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have, so Fort Hays State University, this is on your agenda. So they are wanting to have an overnight camp in Schermerhorn Park on this Friday. There are 14 people in the group. The purpose is to allow for an immersive field experience for the aquatic ecology class. This is biology 619. It's an upper division course. They'll be spending 4 days in the field looking at aquatic organisms and studying their ecology at a number of locations. Because unfortunately high water levels are excluding them from some of their usual locations. So they would like to conduct their overnight sampling protocols in Shoal Creek. This involves sampling insects that become part of the flow over 12 to 15 hour period. Nets are checked every hour and a half to 2 hours. So they need to be in the location where students can be close to the stream side all night. To be clear, we would arrive late afternoon on September 5th, camp and sample overnight, and then depart the morning of September 6th. So they wouldn't be here very long. Per Tracy, they did already talk to Jen Rader, who deals with the Nature Center, and she's actually the one that gave them the contact for the city. So I'm assuming by that, you know, she's kind of on board because she, you know, she's very protective, of course, of the nature and making sure everything stays as is.
He did email me today and asked if it could be possible, they may come Thursday night versus Friday night due to weather. So it could be either or, it won't be both, but it could be Thursday night versus Friday night.
What does our thing say about someone staying all
I'll
night?
make a
We've done
motion.
this before, it's
I'll
nothing
second
new.
that motion.
Neil,
No, is that a motion?
Nobody's moved yet, so we can't second it yet.
Neil did.
Oh, Neil did? Okay.
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear him.
Neil, to clarify, are you allowing for Thursday or Friday, depending on what night they need for weather?
Yeah, whichever night they need.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Neil Oglesby to allow, for this camping, either Thursday or Friday, whichever evening that they need.
I'll second it.
Oh, sorry, Emily, did you second that already?
Yes, I did.
Second by Emily Jordan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
1 opposed. All right. All right, the finance committee met. They did some modifications to the pay scale. So,
Is that reflected in the new budget?
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Oh, do you have copies for everybody? Yeah. Oh, excellent. I was afraid I was gonna have to read all these off.
So, Neil and Bob were both there. Oh, sorry, I took all yours. Just to make note though, this is the pay scale. This is not approving any salaries or wages. This is just a scale they can go from minimum to high. I will note too, one of the things that we because I did go to this meeting for a little bit, I didn't stay the whole time, but, talked about we're raising minimums versus not raising minimums. I think, what Neil wanted to see, and I'm not talking for Neil, but to keep the minimum, because the department head can start people out where they want to start people. So they'll bring them in, on the previous scale, there were a few that were pretty close, and I know just since I've been involved, we like to kind of do it for several years out. You don't have to do this every year, really, that just saves time and effort. So, that's why some of them were raised, but then there were also very, to me, weird cents that were left, and Tracy said when the committee did it last time, they did averages of area employees with similar pay, so that's why they were, I mean, there was like some that was 0.1 and 13 cents and stuff, so really, these were just to kind of round them out and then make sure if any raises needed to be made over the course of the next several years, that these positions would fit within that frame.
Where do we get these numbers at, like this maximum salary, is this just the area?
Yep.
It's in my mind, what I did was figure out the highest and the lowest, and then just kinda average the rest of them, cause we can't compare ourselves with Joplin,
Right.
Yeah.
you know? And there's some little town out here, I can't remember the name of it, but they were like, well, they ain't paying nothing, you know, which that's just the opposite of Joplin, so. And Pittsburgh was one that was often quite a bit higher than us. Chief, there was one thing that you had asked for and didn't make it into the final cut, and that was you wanted to raise the minimum hourly rate. And so they've done away with that. Everything that you asked for in the maximum,
Yeah.
we went
Yes.
with. But
Yeah,
is that
we
okay?
kinda left it like Tracy, yeah, cause, I mean, obviously, we're at $16 an hour, I'm not gonna find out, I mean,
No.
so, but we left it in there just in case, they didn't, I guess.
That was raised in 23, based on uncertified officers, you bring
Yeah.
them in at
I've
16
been sent
until
to
they
the
get
academy.
certified. That's just why they were put in there in 2023 at that rate.
Yeah.
But you're okay without changing the minimums?
Yeah, I'm okay with leaving the minimums where they are,
Okay.
as long as, cause I have the discretion to bring them in at higher than the
Yeah.
minimum, so. The maximums were just low ones, like cause one of my big things is retention, so I was wanting to be able to, if I could keep somebody here long enough, I don't want them to.
And another thing that the chief wanted to do was do away with the lieutenant's position and make that an assistant chief's position.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we, animal control / code enforcement, we changed that. Other than that, we just, and we rounded everything off. There was, we was talking about, there's so many things like, $26.03. And that came from averaging everybody's together in an official capacity, and then it also come from years ago when they would just do, everybody gets 3% or 2.5% or something like that. So does anybody have any questions on any of this?
So if I'm capped, I'm capped.
Yeah, that's why we moved it up, so we don't have to do this next year too.
I can't be raised, if I'm making $30 an hour, I'd take $30 an hour until somebody votes it changes.
Correct.
If nobody has any questions, I'd like to make a motion that we, what ordinance number is it?
2504.
04. I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 25-4.
Second.
That's not a resolution, is it? That's an ordinance?
Ordinance.
Okay, my motion stands, and I think Jamie seconded it.
We have a motion by Bob LaTurner to accept ordinance 25-04, a second by Jamie Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. City attorney, I know it's on you, but we're on department heads. Did you have,
I don't have anything further.
and welcome.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Police department.
Police department, I would like for Matt Cowden to stand up. I have hired Matt Cowden to be the assistant chief. My lieutenant, Jordan, took a job at State Farm making a lot more money. And, and so I brought Matt in. He comes to us with 30 years of law enforcement experience. I worked with him at JPD for 10 years. for 11 years, I guess. He's been the director of the Missouri Southern Police Academy for 14 years. And he's also been an investigator for Newton County's prosecutor's office. He also has his master's degree in criminal justice. So he has an awesome pedigree. He's a great guy, and he's going to be a great hand at the police department. It brings our experience level up a lot higher than, you know, my previous lieutenant was doing a great job, but he had 7 to 8 years total experience. Matt comes to us with 30 plus, being a director of the police academy. He has access. He knows a lot of people in the area as well as I do to help get, you know, ships filled and to get guys out on the street. So we're way ahead of the game, and our welcome today was actually his first day. So
Awesome,
we're getting
welcome.
Day one.
So,
Thank you, I look forward to it.
Okay, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
we had a busy holiday weekend. As you can imagine, I think we were up to 3 pursuits, if you count Friday in the mix. And then this morning at 2 o'clock, we had at 1:16 a.m., my patrol guy for the city was on patrol at 10th and Main when a vehicle ran through the stop sign. He initiated his lights and siren to stop it. It failed to yield, and the pursuit continued back into Missouri on 7th Street. The individual eventually crashed out in Newton County area and ran on foot. Ended up, the vehicle was stolen out of Jasper County. It was a Kia Forte that was had been stolen out of Joplin. The driver was apprehended by a K-9 unit. He fled into a wooded area. JPD K-9 assisted us. We had Cherokee County Sheriff, and everybody was out there with us helping on that. We were able to take the suspect into custody, who ended up being a wanted runaway out of Nixon, Missouri. He had a female passenger. She bailed out and then later was picked up in Galena. But so we had that one, and then we had a pursuit that JPD initiated on September 1st that came into our jurisdiction. The suspect vehicle, one of our officers got in behind the JPD unit. The suspect vehicle threw a bag out at the Dollar General, a Family Dollar. So I know we probably saw lots of police presence on that day. It ended up having some suspected methamphetamine in that vehicle. The driver wrecked the vehicle out just north of Riverton roundabout, and the driver and passenger were both taken into custody without incident. The driver was charged with felony fleeing and possession of methamphetamine. I really want to thank the surrounding agencies. Like I said, I think it's been having a good relationship with them has been huge on some of this stuff, and it's showing that we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior in our city. So my guys have been out there, you know, being very proactive, which I'm very proud of that and what they're doing. So we have responded to, over the last 2 weeks, we've responded to 77 calls for service. We ended up making 2 drug arrests over that time, 1 DUI case, and 4 other arrests. So like I said, it's been busy. And
would that chase early this morning have gone through my front yard?
yes, it could have.
Because 3 people texted, there were tire marks all through my front yard this morning, and I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
it was wild. I called Josh to see if he had cameras from the city barn, and he was like, oh.
Very well could have.
Yeah, that's.
So, but like I said, everybody's on the same page, and that's been kind of a thing that I think before I got here, the communication and the working together was kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
so should I build a police department or the city lot? That's just a joke, people. That's just a joke. Don't put that on social media.
It already is.
I've never taken a dime from the city. Okay, that can go on social media. All right, fire department.
323 calls so far this year. That's up a little bit from where we were at this point last year. I don't know if you read your what we put in from our meeting on Thursday night, but the department voted to promote one of our firefighters, Matt Ratliff, to the lieutenant position, but that's always been pending council approval. So I'm asking if they would support our recommendation of putting Matt Ratliff to lieutenant.
And how long has he been a member?
Matt's going on 17 years.
Wow. Yeah. Long time to
Volunteer.
service the community. Yep. So what would the pleasure of the council be?
What the chief wants.
Is that a
His
motion?
department, yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion to accept the promotion of Matt Ratliff on the fire department to lieutenant, right? We have a motion by Bob Laturner.
Second.
Second by Jamie Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't know she was. I can never tell if she's on
Alright, I appreciate that. And last thing is, I know we've talked about this before. I'm actually looking for some grants. We're gonna have to do something with our garage doors. We're pushing 36 years that we've had those, and, we just had, overhead door over today to replace the spring again. We're looking at about $1,600 every time that happens, so, I'm gonna go out and start exploring. I know the mayor and myself have talked before, you know, it's gonna be kind of pricey, but we're hoping that maybe there's Route 66, we can get maybe some type of grant, since we are on Route 66, but we'll see what we can find out. But, we got a lot of good life out of those, but they're starting to nickel and dime us, so we're gonna have to start looking. That's it.
And it would totally change the look with some new
It
nice
would.
doors.
So,
That'd,
yeah.
that'd be good too, aesthetically.
Maybe put a bulldog on it.
Good.
I got one thing before we close.
Yes,
Where do we stand on, tiny houses?
right now we don't.
Depends on what the definition of tiny house is.
Well, that's what I'd like to know, you know.
It's on
That's
wheels,
not a
it's
tiny
not.
I
house.
wondered that as well.
Well, that's what they're planning on, that's a shed, in my opinion.
If it passes all the codes and puts in a footing and there's, it has to be approved by the building inspector. He knew what he was supposed to do, he didn't do it.
If we ever let one of them get in here and don't do anything about it, we'll have 100 of them in here.
Well, I'm figuring at 10,000, I'll line them up on my extra lots and make them all rentals.
We'll talk later.
Alright, city clerk.
They're not very
I don't have
expensive to
anything.
buy them things, I looked it all
No
up.
credit check.
I have one thing, people have been asking about a fall citywide, we usually do a fall and a spring. I was throwing out October 4th, it's just the first Saturday in October, no rhyme or reason, just, that's a Saturday, I feel like October is a good month to do it, but if you get too far into the month, you're gonna start hitting holidays and then it gets crazy, so, like I said, I don't really care, I think we just need to let people know, and then typically we do the citywide cleanup the week following, where,
Have we been doing a fall one, or just done in spring? I don't know that we did one last year for fall.
I don't know.
Well, let's do one this year.
Well, I agree.
It's expensive.
I ain't selling some crap.
It's expensive?
The
No,
clean-
she's talking about the
cleanup?
cleanup part.
Yeah.
Oh.
cleanup.
Not the city, not the citywide cleanup.
Yeah, we always do it citywide, so.
Which we could, what we could do is approve a date for the citywide, that way people can prepare, I feel like people need to be preparing. And then, we can get the figures what it costs roughly for that, so we know, and if we wanna do a fall cleanup, I like the idea, cause it gets people's junk out, but at the same time, it is costly, to us, so we can look at the numbers next meeting and see what we wanna do, if that's okay? Is that okay with everybody? So are you okay with October 4th? I don't know, I know there's lots of things that go on,
That's good.
is that a motion?
That's a motion.
We have a motion by Bob Laturner to set the fall, citywide rummage sale for October 4th.
Second.
Second by Jamie Jackson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, do I have to adjourn?
Now, make a motion to adjourn, I'm hungry.
We have a motion by Warren Harding to adjourn,
Second.
second by Bob Laturner, all in favor?
Aye.
I